Hi guys, we're back with another animation story, and before we get started, I want to show you this. You guys will not be able to resist it. Look, this is Bubbles. Hi guys, I am such a girl. Nazi. Isn't she adorable? Stay tuned to the end, because we're gonna go say hi to her at the end of the video, so stay tuned. And give this video a thumbs up, please. And I'll make it another pet and show you that's really cute. Oops.
I'm not one to give relationship advice, but I am about to tell you a story about why you shouldn't ghost girls. My story is a little strange.
How am I supposed to do that? I'm a girl, dude.
Starting with a mansion and ending in an experimental hospital in the middle of the ocean. I'm about to share...
What do you mean in the middle of the ocean? And I'm a girl. How would I stalk girls or something?
The biggest story ever. This is about the wild ride of how my dead boyfriend mysteriously rose from the dead with an entirely different face. Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true, and I promise it is worth it to reach the end. First though, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. If you do, you'll meet the love of your life in 7 days. I knew the
In 7 days? Come on, I'm still young, girl. I'm not gonna do that.
moment I met Heath, he was going to be the love of my life.
Ew, his abs. So much showing.
We were nothing short of a power couple. We were both incredibly attractive and very rich. Our connection was deeper than looks and money, though. We loved each other. There was nothing that could separate us, or so I thought. One day, Heath and his family planned a big outing to the countryside in their private jet.
Cool.
I sadly couldn't go because I had school, but I did show up at the airport to wave goodbye. I didn't cry hysterically or anything embarrassing like that. As far as I knew, I would see him again in a couple of days. Little did I know, watching him board the jet would be the last time I would ever see him again.
Seriously? Oh my god.
When he didn't return calls or texts, I just figured he had no service. When he didn't come back from his
No, he's cheating on you.
trip after a week or two, well, I called the police and filed a missing person report
Oh
for
my
his whole family.
god.
No one had heard anything from any of them this whole time. It was strange, so they sent out a search party, but I was not prepared
He died. The airplane crashed and he died. That's my guess.
for what the investigations found, or I guess, more correctly, what they didn't find. I'll never forget the night the police came to me. It was about 3 a.m. and I was up all night unable to sleep. When I heard the knock on the door, I immediately ran over thinking that this was going to be good news. Oh, I could not have been more wrong. "Are you Edna?" the officer asked. I nodded and asked them what they found. "You may want to sit down for this, ma'am," the other officer responded with a sad look on his face. They explained that they found the wreckage of the private jet. Apparently, it had crashed into the middle of the woods and exploded, far away from any civilization. I don't remember so much after that because I spent the next few weeks crying pretty much 24/7. I neglected school and didn't show up to work. I was incredibly depressed for a long time. There
It's okay. You can start over and find your own new boyfriend.
was a part of me that felt like my life's purpose had ended. There was another part of me that refused to accept that Heath died. I spent so much time researching the accident and trying to find any trace of him. At first,
Come on, there was a plane crash. He couldn't have died with that, or, I'm sorry to say this, a bear couldn't have gobbled him up after the plane crash. So then he'd be 100% dead, because the plane landed in the middle of the woods, so a bear gobbled him up, and the plane crashed. Why do you not think he's dead? I'm sorry, it's sad,
my
but
parents and
accept the fact he's dead.
friends were incredibly understanding. Everyone grieves differently, and this was my way. They thought I would grow... We've got...
Grow out of it? No.
your online presence makes an impression. Make sure your words are as professional
Sorry,
as...
guys.
Grow out of it. Here's a fun fact for you. Have you ever heard about Hachiko? Hachiko was a dog that used to meet his owner at a train station every day after work to pick him up. When his owner died one day, Hachiko continued to try and meet his owner every day for years after his death.
Oh, that reminds me of BB. Bubbles. Yeah, baby. By the way, my name is Jay and her name is BB.
Okay, so that wasn't really a fun fact, but it's that kind of loyalty I had for Heath. It's not like I could just forget about him, right? Well, my morning grew obsessed, and my friends and family went from being sympathetic to concerned. I became that sad, crazy woman stuck crying over some dead high school sweetheart. Before I knew it, I lost 10 years of my life waiting for some miracle to happen. My parents told me that I was still in my prime and I should really work on getting past this. I was a young, pretty, kind woman who deserved happiness. You know, they were right. I decided I would make the first step in the new direction. In order to let the new...
But that boyfriend was so sweet. He didn't even cheat on her. I thought that what you thought would happen. He actually just died.
Edna grow, I decided to give myself a fresh start. I moved
You're reminding me of Incredibles. Edna from Incredibles, yeah.
far away in the country, a place where no one would know me and I could really make a new life there. I guess I just wasn't ready to get rid of the past just yet. My first few days in my new town were so freeing. No one stared at me with sad eyes or anything. I decided to go to the local diner to get myself a well-deserved...
Why does she look like that? What is her body? Was that just her shirt? Because that looks weird.
snack. I was about to get a lot more than a milkshake, though. When I sat down at the table, a super attractive guy about my age waited on me. I was a little tongue-twisted for a moment. I couldn't stop staring into his eyes. They were the same color blue as Heath's. I was frozen. That is until he handed me my drink. I saw something I didn't think I'd ever see again. Something that I thought went up in flames during
You saw your crutch again?
a jet explosion. The waiter was wearing the watch his grandfather had given him. There was no way I could have mistaken it for anything else. Heath? I whispered before jumping into his arms, spilling the milkshake all over the both of us. Heath, where have you been? Now,
That's
you're
Keith?
probably expecting this reunion to be magical. It's been 10 years. I bet there'd be lots of fireworks and stuff, right? Nope. The waiter just said he'd get something to clean the mess. I could hear he was on the phone with someone, but I couldn't make out who. I started having all these
Oh, so
scenarios.
maybe he is cheating on you. That's what it's called. He used his friend to go out. Oh, that's his friend, maybe. I thought it was like brother or something.
In my head. What if this wasn't Heath? They might have had the same eyes and watch, but the face was all different. Had I just thrown myself at a stranger? Was he in there calling the cops? After 20 minutes or so, the boy came back calmer. I was getting ready to apologize before the unthinkable happened. He asked for my number. He explained that the jet accident had really messed him up a bit. He had to get a bunch of plastic surgeries and he had lost most of his memory. He is
Why does he? That does not explain how he looks different. Come on, Keith. That does not explain that.
still a little confused and flustered over the whole thing, but he wanted to text me. He also asked that we keep our little romance a secret until he can work some stuff out. I took that as a complete win and immediately gave him my number. Considering how awkward and shy he was, I wondered how our texting conversations would be. I hadn't even left the store for 10 minutes when I was already confronted by angry stares and unfriendly faces. I thought
Oh god, those are creepy. The animation stories have never done that before, but stop that. Already I can tell you, that's creepy.
it was weird and tried to smile, and they didn't smile back.
And the noise does not help.
Eventually, the older lady turned to me and told me to stop being a homewrecker.
Ugh.
A homewrecker? She told me that she saw me hug the waiter inside and I'd better back off and stop acting desperate because I stood no chance. I thought it was so weird and immediately had questions about what was going on. I immediately texted Heath back and questioned why people were being mean to me on the streets. He explained that this was country life. Everyone gets involved with everyone's business. To them,
Sure, Keith.
I was just an outsider. He had been there long enough that they accepted him and expected him to fit a role. They wanted him to get married to this one girl. According to him, it was like a one-sided arranged marriage. He insisted that I just stay clear of him in the restaurant until the locals got a chance.
That's actually their relationship. Everything is just trying to push their relationship back. Sorry, maybe it's just not meant to be.
To warm up to me a bit. I thought it was so weird, but we weren't from the country, so who were we to judge? I was worried how it would turn out, being this was the start of our relationship, but that was actually the only...
That's not the start of your new relationship. That was the end of your relationship. That's the friend just trying to make you feel better because his friend died, so...
rocky.
But then again, how do you not know that? How do you not know that that's Keith's brother? How are they not brothers? Same watch, same eyes. Yeah, that's the brother. That's cousin, actually, cousin or brother. Anyways, how can you not tell that's the brother? It's not Keith. He looks totally different. You're just buying everything he says.
Road. To my surprise, they were amazing. He seemed to remember much more than he let on. I was pretty much
Cause that's Keith's brother.
glued to my
Boy.
phone. I caught him up to everything in my life and we went right back to our romantic ways. Just because we were romantic doesn't mean everything was great though. This one girl constantly seemed to watch me no matter where I was.
Oh, cause he likes Keith's brother.
I had no idea who she was, but I could tell she hated me. I started to have issues with my plants being ripped up and rotten eggs
Call the
thrown at my
police, dude. Are you stupid?
window, and I think it was all her.
First, you think you don't want to call the police. Then you think that's Keith, even though it's Keith's brother. Dumbo.
It kind of freaked me out, and I just wanted Heath and I to get past this. I begged him to let us be together, but he kept insisting it was better over the phone for now. He was shy and wanted to work on himself.
He doesn't want to go out again because that's Keith's brother, and he doesn't want to go out with you. Get it now?
Might I say, shy was an understatement. Over the phone, he would profess his love and write me poems and even sing to me. Every time I saw him in person, he was awkward and barely said a thing. I waved at him when he was buying groceries and he turned bright red and ran the other way. After months of keeping this up, I became a little impatient that we had not even gone on a single date. As a helpless romantic, I decided to take matters into my own hands. I don't want to sound like too much of a stalker, but I might have memorized Heath's shifts.
I understand. It's fine. You guys may be wondering that's not like me, but I understand because you missed him. He crashed and a bear ate him, just to make matters worse. And who knew who ate him? And then you're like, and you're not gonna. And I understand you're a little clueless because you're not gonna accept the fact that's Keith's brother. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I decided that what we needed to push our relationship to the next level was to have a grand declaration of love. Well, I played it all out perfectly in my head. Try not to judge me for being too cheesy here. I was gonna wait until Friday, the busiest night of the week. I printed out a Team Heath shirt with a bunch of hearts, and I did my
Oh, guys, I hope you like the music. Please, I really like the music, and let me know if you want me to turn it off.
hair and makeup super nicely. I was just gonna run in there in front of everyone and get that kiss I had been searching for. I'm pretty attractive too. What guy wouldn't be excited about something like this? Well, let's just say I was about to find out. The second I walked in, people started staring at me. It wasn't unusual as I really...
Because Keith's brother is probably gross, and they're just like, you're dating Keith's brother? You're pretty. Ew.
stuck out in this small town where everyone knew everybody. I walked over to the jukebox and turned on one of our favorite romantic songs and then waved at him. In my mind, I looked like a knight in shining armor. I romantically ran up to him, told him I loved him, and kissed him. I thought I nailed it. It was just
You did nail it. He's just Keith's brother.
like Heath had done for me before. When I looked around, though, no one was clapping. In fact, most people looked horrified, and some had whipped out their phones to take mocking pictures.
I don't understand. Why is everyone hating her now?
I must have
Just because Keith's brother is gross doesn't mean that anything's wrong.
looked like a freak. I turned to Heath, who was in shock. He turned and ran the other way as fast as he could. I felt all eyes on me, angry, judging eyes. When I thought it couldn't possibly get any worse, a little girl ran up to me. I don't know who you are, but you better leave my brother Manny alone. Don't think we all have noticed you stalking him at work. He has a girlfriend, and she's not a freak like you. I didn't know where to begin my
I hate Keith's brother.
explanation,
Manny, I guess. I can call him Manny now.
and the girl walked away before I could even try. It's not what it seems like. I was super embarrassed. The more I thought about what I did, the more my face turned red. I had shown up unannounced to a boy's place of work with a picture of him on my shirt based on his shift times I memorized. It was official. I guess I was a stalker. But what I still didn't know was who this guy was. Heath never had a sister. And what was this about a girlfriend? I called Heath 100 times. Literally, it always went straight to voicemail. This guy seriously ghosted me? Again? I decided to be sneaky one last time. After all, I am just a stalker freak. So I decided to look up this Manny guy. It was a small town with one diner, so
That's
it
actually a
didn't
good idea. Look him up. I want to see what you find.
take long to get a result. I looked up his photo, and it was him all right. Not only that, but his
That was the girl who's throwing eggs at your windows and stuff. Now I get it.
pictures were all with some other girl. He did have a girlfriend. What he also had was this address publicly available. So I hopped in my car and decided to pay him a visit.
Why do you care? Because that's not even Keith. That's Manny. That's Manny. Why do you even care? That's Manny, guys. Why does she care? It's not Keith. Why does she care? Keith died. I'm sorry, but he died. Get over it.
He lived only about 5 minutes away from my house. I went right up to the door. I could hear someone arguing in the house. It was Heath, or Manny, I should say, and a girl. It seemed like they were arguing about him cheating. He kept insisting it was all a misunderstanding and how he didn't kiss any girls. She replied by saying, "Oh yeah? Well, look at these photos from last night. How do you explain that?" I took that moment to ring the bell, and sure enough, this Manny guy was fighting with his girlfriend. His girlfriend? It was the one that had been bothering me this whole time.
I knew it. That was the girl. I can tell.
"You have a lot of explaining to do," I shouted at him. "He certainly does," the girl said before storming out of the door. He completely ran by me and was chasing
I like that girl who bothers so much. She went like, she certainly does. I like her more than her and Keith. Because Keith was one of my favorite characters. But that girl is better. Like, he certainly does.
the girl down, crying for her to listen. It was like I wasn't even there. I yelled at him that he couldn't just ghost me again after 10 years.
Why? I have one question, Manny. Why? I know you have a girlfriend, but why did you tell her? Why did you tell this girl that we're still boyfriend and girlfriend, even though you don't like her anymore and you moved on and you have a girlfriend now? It doesn't make any sense.
And he just looked even more confused. "You know what? Fine. You aren't going to listen to me. I'm just gonna go. It was a mistake coming here and a mistake wasting all my life waiting on you. I can't tell if you're a liar or an imposter, but what I do know is
That's not even Keith, though. That's Manny.
that you're a jerk." I didn't bother to listen to anything else and ran to my house and started packing immediately. I wanted to be on the road tonight and put my whole past behind me once and for all. I was done being that dog that waited every day for her owner. I was my own person, and I was not going to be waiting on him anymore.
Finally, girl, you got it. But that wasn't even him. That's Manny, not Keith. Get it right or don't say it at all.
I got back to my house and it was covered with graffiti and garbage. As I walked up to unlock my door, this old woman shouted shame at me from her porch. Leaving tonight.
Come on. First you're mad because she was dating the Manny. First she was mad because she was dating Manny, and now when they kind of broke up, she's still mad. What does this old lady want?
It was probably the safest option. As I was on the road, I got bombarded with calls, all from Heath. I pulled over to the side of the road and saw I had about 30 voicemails and
Heath? Not Manny, it's Heath.
50 texts. I answered the next call rather meanly. You shouldn't keep messaging someone if you know they're on the road, I snapped at him. Look, we need to talk about everything, he pleaded. Talk about what? How you're a liar? Please. We've got rockets.
Come on, we don't like this game. Why can't we skip it?
When you can buy a car from anywhere, everywhere becomes a CarMax. But if you're more of an in-person person...
Edna, I haven't been honest, but I promise it's not in the way that you think. He gave me an address and asked me to meet him there. I figured at this point, what did I have to lose? The address was pretty far away. It took about 30 minutes to get there. It was a small little cabin in the woods. Nothing too fancy or bad.
See, that was Manny. This is the real Keith. Get back together. It's fine.
Took a deep breath.
I'm sorry. I was the one saying that Keith got eaten by a bear throughout the whole video, but really he's just in a cabin. I'm just wrong.
And went right up to the front door. I didn't even have to knock as the door opened as though I was being expected. I was greeted by a blue-eyed boy about my age in a wheelchair. He had
That's the real Keith. Yes. He just got injured.
aged a bit and there were some burn scars on his arms, but there was no doubt that this was Heath. I never wanted you to have to see me like this, he
Oh, I thought his name was Keith, not Heath.
said, rather embarrassed. I broke down in tears and hugged him. As it turns out, the story Manny told me wasn't so far off. Heath was thrown from the plane before it crashed and burned.
Oh,
He
lucky. He's lucky.
immediately dragged himself over to the wreckage to try to pull his parents out. Unfortunately, before he could get there, it exploded, burning his arms and flying him into a
His parents died, and he missed his girlfriend. Aw, so sad.
tree, paralyzing him. A family found him and brought him to a hospital, but he had lost some of his memory. He had been living with his friend Manny this whole time. He traded
Then how do you guys have the same watch and the same eyes? It doesn't make any sense.
him the very expensive watch for this cabin in the middle of the woods. Why didn't you call? I pleaded. I would have accepted you. I didn't get my memory for anything back for a while, and then when I did, it didn't seem fair to pull you into this life. I assumed you moved on. You are quite a catch. He
What do you mean? She was crying all her life. You're impossible, Keith.
explained that Manny had called him after I spilled the milkshake on him and asked him what he should do. He instructed Manny to give me Heath's number and just let him see where it goes. I couldn't resist talking to you, even if it was selfish on my part to drag you into this mess. He might have been in a wheelchair and a little worse for wear, but he was the man I fell in love with over a decade ago. We kissed, and that was that. Heath and I ended up moving back to my home city, and he's been seeing some top doctors. They think he might even walk again. True love was worth the wait in the end.
Oh, that's cute. But I don't really like love, so cute for you guys. Oh yeah, and I'm not a liar. I remembered. I told you from the beginning of the video. What did I say? I said we get to see Bubbles again. Stay tuned. And here she is. She took a long nap while I was filming, and yeah, because I took her out a lot and a long time. That's our drill. Because she has so much energy, you Joey. Boo-boo, boo-boo. And she always plays with her toys inside. She has a really good life and personality. I know I keep saying that, but I really mean it. Anyways, Bubbles, give the outro. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, oh wait, before you leave, Bubbles, do you want to see me belly rub you? Look, everyone wants to see me belly rub you. Okay. You know those? We need to spay her fast. Look at those. I don't want to touch them because you know the virus. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. And we'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Bubbles!